Hey everybody, my name is Reverend Stephen Milton, and since Thanksgiving Day is coming up, today I want to talk about gratitude, especially about how hard it is to be grateful. And there's a story about that. It goes like this. Once upon a time, there was a very wealthy man who had two sons. He had a big estate, lots of people who worked for him in the fields, and he had servants in the house. And one day, his younger son, a teenager, says that he wants to get his inheritance now because he wants to go explore the world. So his dad sits down and says, okay, all right. And he writes him a check for 1/3 of the estate. So the young man does what young men do, and he goes out and he takes the money and he spends it partying. And he has a great year, gambling, sex, drugs, alcohol. And then, as happens, the money runs out. And when the money runs out, then he's stuck. And he doesn't want to go back to his dad because he's broken every rule he was brought up with. So he decides to get a job, just any job that he can get, and the only thing he can find is a job on a farm. So he gets a job on a farm, and it doesn't pay well, and he's just hit rock bottom. He can barely feed himself. He hates the work on the farm, and he realizes, I'd be better off if I was back on my dad's farm. But why should he take me back? I blew all of my inheritance. I blew all the money that he worked so hard for. But he decides he has no choice. So he goes back, and on the day that he walks onto the estate, he's rehearsing in his head what he's going to say, and his father sees him. And his father runs down and hugs him and kisses him and says, "Thank goodness you're back. I never thought I'd see you again." And he takes the son into the house and he tells the servants, "Okay, we're going to have a feast. Get the table ready, get all the best food, break out the wine. We're gonna party tonight because he's back. He's dirty, get him some new clothes." So the party begins. It's fantastic. The young man can't believe how lucky he is that his father's taken him back. He feels so grateful for that. And the father, who never expected to see this kid again, is so grateful that his son has returned. Gratitude. Sometimes you need to hit rock bottom before you can actually appreciate what you got, right? That's one way to gratitude. You just bottom out like the young man did. But sometimes you got it all and you can be grateful. This man has the father has all the wealth he needs, but he lost his son who he loved. And when he sees his son, notice what happens. He doesn't judge him. He doesn't say, "Where have you been?" He doesn't criticize him for the way he looks. He just grabs him and loves him. And that's what gratitude's about, just appreciating what you've got right in front of you rather than starting to make all sorts of value judgments about it. Now, as you may recall in this story, there's actually a second son. The second son's been working out in the fields. He's been working for his dad all these years. And he hears the sound coming from the house. And he sees the lights on for the party. And he asks one of the fellow workers, "Hey, what's going on?" And the man tells him, "Oh, well, your brother's back." And he goes, "What?" And then the father comes out. He says, "Hey, your brother's back. Why don't you come to the party?" And he says, "I'm not going to that party. Forget it. I'm not going there. I have no interest in being at that party. He's been spending all this money. He's been, probably sleeping with women with your money. Meanwhile, I've been here working really, really hard. I don't want to be anywhere near him." And the father says, "Can't you just appreciate that your brother who was lost is now found and is with us?" And the son says, "No, I'm staying out here." The second son, who's actually the well-behaved one, is the one who doesn't get gratitude. He's the one who's all hung up on appearances and hung up on his ego, right? He's saying, "Hey, I deserve more from you. You never held a feast for me." And that's the thing about gratitude. You got to let go of your ego to be grateful. If you think the world owes you a lot of stuff, it's almost impossible to be grateful. Gratitude starts when you relax about what you deserve, you stop measuring things, and you just realize, I'm really small in this world, and I'm surrounded by sunlight and trees, water that I didn't invent, a body I didn't create. I've got a lot to be grateful for that I didn't invent. That's what I have to say about gratitude. Hope that helps. Happy Thanksgiving.